ecosystems. So it's very important to situate in which level we are situated and how we engage in the different sub-ecosystems. For example, in this research I elaborated multi-level model. For example, if you take the micro level of the incubator ecosystem, for example, in your factory, inside the incubator we can have also some peers that are incubator. Each peer has its own ecosystem. And at the same time, the incubator is also in interaction with other organizations. So at the same time, it collaborates with the Chamber of Commerce, with the other entities, with universities. And at the macro level, they all shape the Tacoma's entrepreneurial ecosystem. And even this model is not enough. Tacoma's entrepreneurial ecosystem is connected with the Seattle ecosystem. So it's very important to see how each ecosystem is embedded. So, and third, it's very important to see how we can create value not only with our community, because entrepreneurial ecosystem is all about communities. And I found very inspiring Tacoma's ecosystem because we see some communities. And I also hear sometimes about the silo construction of some of these communities. So even consider this model, we find some communities can be embedded, but you also interact with each other. How we can break these silos and go because you're all part in the same ecosystem. So I think this model brings this discussion about these bridges between the different sub-communities to engage in these different levels. So this was one of the first models I would like to share. And the second one that I would give my results on, the results we present, is this one. This is the triangle I created this model when policymakers asking how we can build a successful entrepreneurial ecosystem. This is your goal. So when we want to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem, so we have to build that, they create a successful entrepreneurial ecosystem, and the idea behind is how, from where to start, when we want to create an idea. So this is a simple, is a model trying to go step by step from what are the pillars, what we need to elaborate to build an ecosystem. And we distinguish three main dimensions: a structural dimension, a cognitive dimension, and a relational dimension. So first of all, it's very important to elaborate the structure of the ecosystem. Who are the organization? Who are the actors? And the factors who are taking this content. Do we have enough incubators? Do we have enough Chamber of Commerce, enough entrepreneurial culture, enough programs? So it's very important to elaborate who are the actors, map the ecosystem, and also map the links. Do they collaborate? Do they have any collaborative projects? A very important element is the stability of the ecosystem. The stability is how open you are. Do you, this ecosystem, for example, hear about the Tacoma's ecosystem can go up and down based on the life cycle of the ecosystem or the economic cycles. But can we bring, is it enough attractive to bring people in? See some companies can be created so they can empower the ecosystem or they can die so they can go out. So do we have a stable ecosystem or it's unstable? So do people come in, go out? So it's very important to see the stability. The third dimension of the structural part is the configuration. Do we have leaders and how the ecosystem is configured? Is there some leading organization, is some gatekeepers that we can relate and have access to information? So this is the three elements of how we can build an ecosystem. So if we have the structure of the ecosystem, does it work? So this model then, probably the second element we need to work is not enough. We need to reflect on the cognitive dimension. The cognitive dimension is about the shared goals and narratives and languages. That means that, for example, we had a focus group 2 days ago. They were hearing that to build a company in Tacoma is very complicated because you have to fill very complicated forms. So we don't know what we need to fill. So probably we don't have the same languages. We don't know. We don't use the same tools. If we go to another organization, they use other languages. So how can build this common languages of entrepreneurship to go and support entrepreneurship? But also Do we have enough success stories? We celebrate the same success stories and we have the same role models. And if we build this part, is it okay? And we have a third dimension that we need to work. And this is very important also. Dimension is the relational dimension. The things you know also to be is do we have enough norms and members of like obligation? Do we know who does what? And what they're expected to do for us in the ecosystem. Is it clear? Is it transparent? Do we have enough trust in the ecosystem? Do you trust each other to build these connections, to build this dynamic? And finally, something that came up also in the Tacoma's ecosystem is the members' identification. Do you know who does what? Or do you know who you can go? For example, in us, and this is also something I saw in Tacoma, I hear that we have too much players, and we don't know really who, in which place, in which moment we need to go to see during the entrepreneurial journey. So this is some of the elements we can work. And if we work in these three dimensions, we need to build these bridges and optimize the relations, the cognitive, so that they can continue to evolve and flourish, and also the trust and improve the entrepreneurial culture. So this shows the bridges. So this is a very interesting model that is just a roadmap, which step we can improve from the ecosystem. So saying building on that, I don't want to spend more time on this research part. I would like to share some of the results from the Tacoma's ecosystem. Preliminary results from the Tacoma's Big Country Entrepreneurial Ecosystem. It's a massive ecosystem, and we are going to here to think about how we can improve the methodology, which direction we can go. So this is some of the findings I would like to share. So we've been working the last months until August 2022. So we've been collecting more than 400 actors. So this is our methodology, the steps. This is what we have done already, and this is where we are heading the next steps. So we have been engaged in a 3-year project, so we started out to feel free to bring other people to empower this ecosystem and this community. We have tried to collect more people that are based in Tacoma, are related to Tacoma, and they're motivated to build this ecosystem. We do a qualitative study and a quantitative study. We started in September 2020, February 3, so this is some of the first insights we see. We have conducted more than 50 interviews. We analyzed 49. Some of them have been interviewed. If the others want to talk and share their thoughts, feel free to contact me and schedule some interviews. And then we have prepared a quantitative survey based on research. So we want to see your perception, how you perceive the ecosystem. We collected 46 questionnaires and we analyzed 46. So this is what we're going to present today. That is a small sample. So it's not final results, it's just an idea. Results can change, but this is some thoughts we want to share. So we continue to have this quantitative ongoing. So here you can participate. So for the person that haven't participated yet, you can script here. It's a survey that takes about 15-20 minutes. And we encourage you to participate on that because this is your thoughts about what you think about the ecosystem. It's very helpful to build the recommendation afterwards. So we have 97 questionnaire, but we continue to collect and we expect also your feedback on this survey. And the last 4 days we were in the factory and we have conducted more focus groups. So we continue to collect data, so that's why we came here to see and recognize you and with each one of us how we can build a entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we have been conducting 4 focus groups with 26 experts. We have seen support providers, policymakers, funding entities, and entrepreneurs. So we wanted by focus group to ask what's your needs, how you contribute to the ecosystem, and now we engage with all these cross groups to see what you think and how we engage collectively. So this is about the methodology. So I would like to, in the first part, present from my point the quantitative results, and we connect present some of the results from the interviews. So we try to interview all groups of ecosystem stakeholders in the cohort. We have, of course, a video presentation of entrepreneurs because it's all about entrepreneurs. But we also interviewed funding entities, both organizations, both private and public, because we see also different dynamics between the public and the private sector, educators and researchers, and all we try to include all civic actors. So this is something we want to stress here. This ecosystem in the Cohort, it's a unique one because it's an inclusive one. It's not because you're interested in entrepreneurship or you are an entrepreneur or not. Every civic actor in Tacoma is welcome to participate and contribute to the value of this ecosystem. So some of the descriptive results from our studies. So we have interviewed mainly persons from 40 to 59 years old. We have all ages represented. This is the education we have asked. So we have university graduate, we have all education level. Entrepreneurship experience. We ask how experienced you are in entrepreneurship. So we try to include all persons' experience in entrepreneurship. We try to include all sector of activities. So we're more representation of education sector, but we also have all industry sectors represented. The size of companies are mainly small. We're talking small, this warning that the 90% is represented by small or micro enterprises, less than 10 employees. And we try to, the gender, we have more male, but of course also female to contribute this or on that. So we asked them, what's your perception? We asked a lot of questions. We want to be the more exhaustive we are, so we used all these different questions. So, for example, we asked, what's your entrepreneurial culture? What's your shared values? What's your talent, human capital, leadership, finance support, policy, physical infrastructure, education, training, markets, demands, knowledge, and even the relational dimension. So you see here the dimensions of the triangle. So we have the cognitive dimension, the structural dimension, and the relational. So we try to ask of you what's your perception, how do you perceive the ecosystem. So based on that, we asked 85 questions to classify how it's perceived the ecosystem of the cohort. Based on that, here are some of these results. So here I'm trying to group the cognitive dimensions. So based on the shared values of the culture, we consider that the common ecosystem share the same values out of 5. So it's quite interesting. But there is an entrepreneurial culture that trying to build, and we see it also in this room. We have this passion, this virus, people engage in entrepreneurship. So we have a supportive entrepreneurial culture and shared value. People want to engage in a common goal. The structural dimension. We have the biggest part is the market. We hear also from the interviews and the focus groups. So the markets are quite represented. So we have a diversity in connection to the global economy. We hear a lot of interviews saying that Tacoma is a nice place to experiment and project and build new companies. We have a supportive local market by locally and support the local owners. We need to support, but it's represented. Local education system and training programs that come as a less important. It's not less important. It's coming as a strengthened work entrepreneurship program and trainings. The support system and entrepreneurial organizations that are also present in Tacoma. Finally, the last dimension, the relational one, we see here that trust is quite high, quite even though we have proof. And we find low opportunism, which is a nice indicator. So we need to find a balance because if we have high opportunism in one ecosystem, this will increase the trust. So the goal is to improve the trust levels so that we can create more dynamic interaction with the ecosystem. So the next element we're trying to elaborate is the items. So we are asked. It was
in that last societal trust for environment, from a societal perspective, trust is in each other. The one that you have above that. It seems like there's a lot of opportunities. I'm trying to make sure I understand your definition of that.
So the opportunism was measured by I think whether 6 or 11 questions. So we're trying to ask members how they perceive the opportunism of other members of the ecosystem. Do you believe that other members of the ecosystem are opportunistic or not? So if they indicate 5 that they consider that all ecosystem members are opportunistic. From what comes from the first results we see is that the perceptions of the ecosystem don't come as it's an opportunistic environment. It's not about identifying and exploiting opportunities. The command is an ecosystem that creates opportunities. It's about how we perceive if the other stakeholders of the ecosystem will be opportunistic or have individualistic behaviors. So whether they will help you or they will try to exploit your opportunities. So for example, in some ecosystem, this can be a really important factor. You can have high level of trust, but if you have high level of opportunism, this doesn't allow the dynamic because I trust, but at the same time I'm fear that if I trust you too much, probably you will exploit. So this is the balance we need to find in an ecosystem to the relation, and this is the main challenge of this dimension.
You want to hear from you.
So, because you hear also a lot of opportunistic behaviors, and we're talking this morning about the forest. The forest, we need also to understand that we have cooperation, and cooperation is an amazing tool, and this is what creates the dynamic, but we should not forget that we live in a competitive environment, so the forest will have also talking about the animals, and we're talking sometimes about predators and prey. So this is exactly what happens in the ecosystem. And ecosystem as cities or ecosystem as companies will also find these dynamics. The basically can find some competitors. So the competitors, whether you engage in collaboration, but you should be very aware about the fact that they remain competitors. So we're trying to understand how we perceive that this previous comments about opportunism. Do you cooperate enough or do you compete enough? Because in the ecosystem, in some actors you compete collaboration and some in competition. This exists. But being aware, this allows you to best navigate in your ecosystem. So we asked what about cooperation? So 6 questions. What about competition? 11 questions. And then we asked with who, which actors, which group of actors you are more in cooperation and which group of actors you are more in competition. For example, we identified the main, probably what they're lacking. I'm going to improve this interview, this survey. We asked, do you cooperate with institutions, policymakers, chamber of commerce, private experts, support organizations, technology transfer entities, universities and research, funding entities, industries and markets? So what came up from the first results? So first of all, do you cooperate or do you compete? So this is great because you cooperate more, so this is great. But this is also real that we compete. Competition is not a bad thing. Competition can be a powerful tool because this is challenge you, even in the class as a professor. But you have also competitive students because competition allows to improve our services, our performances. So it can be a powerful tool. The problem is if you have too much competition, what's happening? So we need to find this balance. But here we have the actors want to collaborate, at least they want to collaborate. And this is, I tell again, this is your perception. So we want to collaborate, and I see it also here, we see it here, so it's clear. We asked with who actors you collaborate more. So we have here institutions, so we see the cooperation in a blue line and competition in a a red line. So the red line is lower, it's perfect because you compete better than the companies. We are in a good dynamic. But we see that, for example, support organizations are from the leaders, it's not the leaders, are from the actors of the ecosystem that they need with highest cooperation. So support organizations need to cooperate more with other ecosystem actors. You compete also more with other support organizations. So this creates a great dynamic because you, for example, in recent we say that support organizations are not the gatekeepers, that are the actors that see entrepreneurs, the connect with policymakers. They are the intermediaries that create these dynamics. We also see that in the industry we have cooperation, but we have also competition, which is quite normal as a result. Another measurement we try to ask is how we behave. And we had an interesting discussion earlier about how you perceive your behavior in the ecosystem, your entrepreneurial orientation. Is it enough entrepreneurial orientation in the ecosystem? Do we take risks? Is it a community that we take risks or we tolerate the risks? Or are we enough innovative? Are we enough proactive? For example, here you see the questions we have, 9 questions in total. So we see risk-taking is risk-taking and proactiveness is okay, even though we can improve proactiveness. And I think this came up a lot with the interviews in the commons ecosystem. We have mainly individual initiatives, but how we can be proactive to engage more in collaborative projects. So this is something mentioned we need to work on. And innovativeness is highest. So there is the second to have more innovative projects, also to at least perceive as there is enough resources for innovativeness. Finally, the performance elements. Are we doing well? So we used some indicators about performance. How we perceive that the COMA is doing about performance. So we do well related to business creation, to job creation, to sustainability, satisfaction of entrepreneurs, success, or well-being. So here is the results. So that would be good. So the less scores that we have, and the worst is about job employment. So this is your perception about how the COMA is doing. So from your perception is we can create more job creations, but all the indicators could be improved. So this is some of the first insights we have been collected, and we're going to continue with just some ideas, probably global, but also some discussions. Before this is some ideas. I would like to give the floor to Wilfred, who is going to share us some of the interviews, some qualitative insights. And then we will open the floor to see your reactions based on what you said. Does it represent what you think about the COMA and this discussion?
Thank you. See, back to so you've heard a bit about the survey research that's been completed. It's now my pleasure to introduce Wilfred Uribe, who is going to talk about the qualitative side of research. You want to go ahead and say hello and make sure you're sounding.
Okay, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's looking good.
Great. Right, so I'm going to be making a start. So that's good afternoon on your side. So on here it's almost 8 p.m. Here in London, but it's really fantastic to be able to make this presentation. I was due to be in Tacoma in person, or due to circumstances beyond my control, I wasn't able to make it. But hopefully, in the nearest future, I'll be there in person. So my name is Dr. William Benson, as Professor Jones introduced already. I've just recently completed my PhD in entrepreneurial finance. I've been working with the Women Practice Small Business Incubator for over 2 years now, so I'm quite familiar with the ecosystem there and with some of the actors there already. Professor Christina has already done a very fine work, providing background information on the quantitative, the number side of the data collected. I am now covering more on the qualitative side, the interviews were conducted, more on, just to draw out some of the key themes that have emerged from the data. Like Professor Priscilla has said, these are preliminary findings. These are not the final findings. These are just initial, what we've been able to gather so far from what we've conducted. So some things, I'm trying not to repeat what Professor Priscilla has said. I'll just sort of go straight to the point for the sake of time. These are the partners of the project where already familiar with them. I'm not going to spend too much time there. Now, the big project itself, like I said, what are we able to do today is sort of build upon what we've all done in those breakout sessions, highlight some of the questions we've tried to gather is what is missing from the ecosystem, what are the weaknesses, and so I'm going to be highlighting what's to the ecosystem have said is missing from the ecosystem, what are some of the strengths, and some of the recommendations that have been made by actors in the ecosystem. Now, the methodology that I've adopted for this research is more of an exploratory study. We've come in as outsiders, international experts. So Professor Christian from France, myself from the UK, very much as independent observers to understand, what the Tacoma entrepreneurial ecosystem is like. So that's really where the exploratory, approach has come from. The same as the induction, it's just all trying to understand what is happening in the ecosystem there. Now, like Professor Christian has said, we've conducted 50 interviews since last year, September, 49 of them were valid. The people or the actors of the ecosystem that we interviewed have been categorized in these 4 groups. So support providers constituted 35% of those that were interviewed. The academics constituted 10%. Finance providers 10% as well. The entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship club leaders, and the media all grouped as one category, and they were the represented the largest groups that were interviewed. Now, in terms of the methodology for generating these themes, we just looked at what was the common word, not necessarily words, but ideas and interpretations that were repeated over and over again. So that's how we systematically identify these themes that we're going to share today. Now, if you focus on what is missing from the ecosystem, several things did emerge. But one of the strongest was from the support providers, and that was collaboration between actors. And it's something that is very essential to the building of ecosystems. Communication amongst actors, again, was something that was reiterated, and structural support for startups. Now, I'm going to sort of explain that a bit more. Now, if you look at collaboration, some of the phrase that have come in to support that was nobody knows each other, what they are doing the same work. And this was really an entrepreneur trying to highlight the role, the manner in which support providers worked together in the ecosystem, highlighting that the collaboration can be improved. It's not that collaboration isn't there, it is there to a reasonable extent. It just can be improved. Something else is communication amongst actors. Again, more opportunities for people to network. And then, some if we dig deeper, something that some of the actors did say, well, then an annual conference, like the one that is being held today, something that gives actors from different categories the opportunity to come together and network, exchange ideas, and just think about how to make the ecosystem better. Now, limited support from policymakers, again, this was something that did come out again from the data, and here it's saying policymakers don't have an in-depth understanding of startups and what needs to be done with entrepreneurship. And this is quite important because policymaking does play a very essential role in building an ecosystem, entrepreneurial ecosystem, because they create the right environment, whether it's in the right form of taxes, in the business rates that are charged, in the safety that is provided for the environment. Policy does create a very strong role. So it just highlights that, some work needs to be done in that area as well. So this is just the summary. Now moving on to the strengths of the ecosystem. Again, there's lots of nice things to say about doing business in Tacoma. And one of the key things that did emerge is that Tacoma seems to be a good place to start a business. It seems to be a fertile ground. So businesses start there, and then afterwards they move on to other, maybe Tacoma to other cities. Now, some of the themes were supportive environment. So here we see an academic saying that there are few education programs which are available for free online, and of course education is extremely important. Not necessarily, some people might argue academic, but some form of education, especially for people who have come from non-business disciplines. If you think about engineers or creatives, you need to still have the business knowledge to be able to successfully lead your venture. Now, moving on, lots of opportunities. Again, this is an entrepreneur saying Tacoma is a gold mine with so many opportunities. So this was quite good to see. Again, sort of alluding to that theme of it is the opportunities for businesses to thrive and start up in Tacoma and Cass County. Now, strong sense of community finance providers highlighting that Tacoma has got nice people, which is very essential. When you have community people to support local businesses, small businesses, it's very essential to start up, doing well and succeeding in that environment. Now, the final bit looks at recommendation for the ecosystem. This is looking forward. What are the things that can be done better? What can we do to make and improve Tacoma's entrepreneurial ecosystem? Now, again, some of the key things, I think the strongest that did come out from the data was equip entrepreneurs with skills and resources, attract investors, and encourage collaboration. So these were some of the strong themes that did emerge. Now, attract investors, again, and this is an entrepreneur saying things like attract more creative and business capital to start up. And I think, some of the concerns were, if you look at Tacoma, it's only one venture capital firm, I think, at the moment. So thinking about ways to attract more, creative or innovative investors into Tacoma would be quite good for the ecosystem, because as you understand, when you're funding anything in startups, conventional loans would not be suitable for those kinds of business. So over attracting venture capitalists, business angels into the local community would be helpful as well. Equip entrepreneurs with skills and resources. Again, what you see support providers say here, something that has emerged strongly, from the data, especially, during the focus groups. We've conducted 4 focus groups over the last 2 days as focus groups to the highlighted. And one of the things that, all groups did highlight is the need to build an inventory based on the process of who does what. Essentially, a form of signposting. If I start a business today, who do I go to for what? If I, say if I need a certain document or I need to do something specific for my business, there's no sense of signposting for where I can get those services from, and that would essentially make a lot of difference for the ecosystem. Now, finally, reduce barriers to entry. Here, really, it's thinking about storefronts, providing more space for entrepreneurs, creating a more safe environment for people to do businesses, and things like that. So, yeah, one of the media personal things here, because we also interviewed a few media outlets saying more people don't reactivate in storefronts, which will provide cheap space for entrepreneurs, especially when you look at the a rising cost of living. Some form of incentive can be provided to entrepreneurs to be able to get spaces for them to do businesses. Now, this is now just a summary, and here what I'm really trying to highlight are the key things that have emerged from the three categories that have been analyzed. Missing from the ecosystem, the key thing there is collaboration between actors, and this is echoed very strongly by the support providers. Strengths of the ecosystem, again, this is looking at supportive environment, and this is echoed very strongly by entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurship program really saying, that's one of the things that attracts entrepreneurs into Tacoma, Cass County, the degree of support you get when you start your business. Recommendation again, equipping entrepreneurs with skills and resources, being able to provide expert support, some sense of signposting, those kinds of things would be helpful for businesses to thrive. Now, as I finalize, thinking about what is next. So we've been able to, like I said, we're in the initial stages of the data collection. We've collected some quantitative data. We've collected some qualitative data as well. When I'm thinking, how do we move forward with what we've collected? So we're looking for ways to build on the strengths of the ecosystem. There's so much good things that lie within Cass County already, and we have to acknowledge and celebrate those things as well. So it's building on those strengths that we've highlighted, developing competences to those steps in the ecosystem. How can we, we know what is missing, how can we develop the right skills to be able to make sure that, we close those or support or make available those things or those elements that are currently missing from the ecosystem. And then, recommendations have been provided. Again, Professor Christina and I have come in as independent observers, all the way from Europe, so not in North America at all. So these recommendations that have been provided are not by us, they're provided by ecosystem actors in Cass County. So it's really saying how to implement these recommendations so that an efficient entrepreneurial ecosystem can be created. So that's it in terms of my presentation. I'm quite glad that we're able to run that within the hour. I look forward to any questions you may have. My contact email address is on the big project website in case anyone wants to discuss some of the initial findings for them. So it's been a great pleasure presenting at this conference, and I look forward to any questions anyone has. Over to Professor Jim.
Thank you. For those of you who haven't seen it previously, the e-project, theeprojecttacoma.com is the website for our researchers, and you can see that there are a host of resources that are listed. The webinar that was mentioned was posted here. You can learn more about the project, about the team of people who are making it happen. And this is a great way to stay in contact. So thank you very much for your presentation. I appreciate especially the call to action, because I think we have some exciting times ahead of us as a community. There's a lot for us to be. So we are nearly done. The food is nearly set, and I'm going to just follow up with a few instructions on last minute details. But before we head out to grab some lunch, I would like to introduce the Dean of the Millward School of Business, Dr. Altaf Merchant, who has been an incredible supporter of mine and of the work of entrepreneurs across Utopia Tacoma. Dr. Merchant.
Thank you very much, Jill, and thank you very much everyone for coming. For me, this is in many ways a big come true. So I've been with the company for 4 years, and the first year I was trying to figure out what are the needs of the community. There's some big themes coming along. One was financial wellness, financial literacy, supply chain management and logistics, and the big one that came across was. So once I decided what our key priorities are going to be for the next 10 years, I approached Professor Purdy, and she was very, very kind and gracious, and she took on the project, and what a delight this is. We are here now for 100 entrepreneurs discussing the challenges of navigating the ecosystem. So thank you very much, Jill, and thank you very much everyone for coming. So nurturing a spirit of entrepreneurship sounds is a huge priority for the leaders. We are just getting started. This is what I can think of it. Right? We want to be a player in the entrepreneurship community. We want to provide support. We want to be providing opportunities, resources for entrepreneurs. We don't want to reinvent the good work that's already happening. So we want to work with the partners that are already there. But we do want to play a role. And I love the presentation which was made. It was talking about education opportunities and skills. Right? And it's joined up our hand. And we are here in downtown and we can play a role. The beautiful thing about the way we are perceiving the entrepreneurship initiative for UW Tacoma is Milligan School is going to lead it, but it is for the whole campus. Right? So we know that a lot of the innovation happens in technology, computer science, right? We want to serve everyone. Innovation happens even in history. Innovation happens with people who study literature, right? There is no ownership of innovation of any one person. Therefore, we want to support everyone. So the programming and the work that we're going to be doing is going to be for the campus, and that's why I'm delighted that Chancellor Lang is fully supportive of our vision. And she will be working it for the whole campus as well. I don't want to take Jill's thunder, but I did take her permission so to reveal something. Coming this autumn, we are starting an Entrepreneurial Academy. This academy is going to be focused towards providing skills, resources, networks, business ideas, business knowledge, accounting details, everything that's required by any entrepreneur or a 2B entrepreneur. It's going to be open to all our students across the campus. It's going to be open to the community. Because this is not a degree granting program, it's not a master's program, bachelor's program, etc. This is a certificate program. This is basically to help entrepreneurs become better entrepreneurs, help our students who have an interest in entrepreneurship be better entrepreneurs. So we want to really focus on our outcome is to see people being successful as entrepreneurs rather than only. And I think this is an important role the Milligan School can play and the UW Tacoma campus can play. Because as you know, we are catalysts of change. And we continue to do that in various ways. A couple of other things that are happening in the Milligan School which are really exciting. If you have the chance, please go to the third floor of this building. We have a financial markets lab. It's a trading room, the first of its kind in the Entrepreneurial Ecosystem. We're teaching students how to buy and sell shares using Bloomberg terminals. They're using Bloomberg data. Again, what is Bloomberg data? That's the data companies like Morgan Stanley and Russell Investments now use to make financial decisions. And we're teaching our students to use that kind of things. We're launching certificates in Bloomberg proficiency. We also have various programs on financial literacy that we provide great education to our students across the campus. No one teaches them to balance a check. No one teaches them how to interact with others, right? No one teaches them how to save money. No one teaches them how to buy expensive cars when they can't afford it. So we are doing that. We've had 8 such events already on campus, well attended by our students across the campus, across all areas, our staff, our faculty. And I think that's a pivotal role that we can play. And again, as I said, coming forward is a new program on supply chain management. So I believe after this is another exciting event, of course. Lunch is exciting, but after lunch, there's another exciting event called Innovation Expo on the second floor. Please visit it. Please encourage our students. You're going to be seeing wonderful ideas, wonderful innovative thoughts of our students from technology, from business, from all over the campus. Please go and encourage them because they look to your encouragement, they look up to you because many of you are successful entrepreneurs yourselves and maybe you can influence some advice. So please make sure you attend that. And it was a delight meeting you all and thank you to Jill and everyone else who's here from the research group and who's helped make this event possible. Go Huskies.
Innovation Expo includes community members as well as students. And so we've invited folks from a number of the incubators that are represented in the room. And it's an exciting, diverse group of interesting ideas, solutions, research ideas, arts and creative expressions, all kinds of things, potential businesses. So, and we have a People's Choice Award. So when you go visit, you'll have an opportunity to scan a QR code. I know we have a few people in the room who are going to be presenting, so I'm going to encourage you to head towards the door so you're first in line at the lunch buffet, so you can get up and get your presentation ready to go. What I'm going to invite everyone to do is exit through the door over here. The buffet is just on the back side of this wall. You'll be able to work your way through, and then you can re-enter the space team through the door. Thank you all so very much for coming. We'll follow up by email and work on getting a participant list out so we all know how to connect with each other. Because as Dean Merchant said, this is just the beginning. Thank you.
Part of this work that we're doing. I would love to be one person who I like controversy. The better together in terms of so yeah, the better together in terms of and your part is just have a foster in business and in life. It's like this black business, black wealth, and I did for youth development. It's like what seemed to be a guy who was saying, hey, we're doing this back then. We're doing now. Then I love everything about it. Everything about the college thing. I'm like, where did you get all of my life? I'm back in something. When a white man says it's going to sound like someone who looks like you. I have no problem saying, yeah, look at
we need more case studies of everybody else there. We're all yes.
I want you, I need I just met it. I love it. Well, yes, Winifred's my best bud, but I'm looking for a history right here.
Hey, will you say hi? Okay. I know we talked over email. Yeah. You never have to get to work. Why do you like to help? Because feedback is helpful. Work with when you start the project. Yeah. Get feedback. What's similar to doing. Better resources can be gathered. Make this a better marketplace. Startup activity. You know, I just right. I didn't realize this. Right. And so, it sounds like there's a lot out there. It's just kind of like, let's go. They're putting it together. Yeah, but exactly. So, but like, we overlap on business plans. We overlap on intermediate marketing. We should be doing advanced marketing. And we lack legal support. We lack advanced accounting support. Add more sophistication and value to the entrepreneurs. Is monumental. It was I went to a guys.